Hello, travelers, and we're going to do our elemental air reading for the month of October 2018. Website members, be aware that your individual monthlies for October are all posted, and I am working on the romance and relationships. I'm also going to be bringing you guys a Pluto and Capricorn open reading there on the website, as well as you're going to get your, what do you call it, your transit watch report. So those of you who have been on the website for a while know that I don't like to put the videos up piecemeal. I like to get them all done and then put them up, and that way you can look at your moon sign, your rising sign, or someone else that you may know or be involved with. So I like to put all of those things up, and then you can compare notes. But this is going to be just a general reading for the air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Keep in mind it is a general reading and not all of the messages will resonate. That does require a personal reading. And I stopped because I was shuffling and meditating on those particular signs, that element of air, and the cards were flying all over the place. Now, typically for me, I can't speak for any other readers, when that happens, this is letting me know that there are things happening. And so the three cards that came out, the Page of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Magician. So let me do a bit more shuffle. Oh, well, there's a Ten of Cups. I mean, literally the cards are kind of dealing themselves. Let me see if I can get one more shuffle on them. But they are telling their own story. And sometimes this is highly significant. Do keep in mind that, as I say, everybody has their own story. Page of Wands. So I have two pages here. So two different types of messages. They are in different directions. This could speak to a slight concern within a new partnership, romance, and or relationship. Well, there it is. Wow, and that's so interesting. I have two Mercury cards back to back. The Magician is ruled by the sign of Mercury, and the Lovers is also ruled by the sign of Mercury. Now, this represents the sign of Gemini. So some of you, this is an air sign, as you know. And then for those of you, you may be dealing with someone who is a Gemini individual. Heavily mental. There is the Emperor. So this could be a father and or an elderly male. Could also represent a counselor of some sort. As a profession, this person will be a doctor, a surgeon, a lawyer, a general, someone who's in the maybe law enforcement. Oh wow, there it is, the Two of Cups. Look at this. This is an impressive spread. Really. Last card down. Well, the Four of Swords. Remember I was talking to you at the very beginning about that slight concern? Well, the Tower card over the whole reading. Well, well, well. So for some of you, this is something I think that has occurred out of the blue, perhaps. For others of you, this tells me that whatever was old in your life has completely collapsed and given away to make room for the new. Sometimes that card can show up as an emotional outburst. It definitely speaks to something that was completely out of your control. It may have been destructive in some aspects, but yet from the destruction you can rebuild again. I've seen that card show up when there's been bad weather. Sometimes when there may be an accident. Sometimes it's not as serious as you thought it was. But this is also that aha kind of a moment. Whatever this thing is, like, it's an aha kind of a moment. Now, I have these two court cards here. So this does tell me that there are two people involved. We do have this Two of Cups here. We do have this one male figure. And what I'm looking at, the Page of Cups, past, present, future, past, present, future. Here's our indirect influences of the cards. And then we have our knighting. So there's a whole bunch of things happening. So what I'm looking at is a message, some kind of news that has come in which perhaps you have decided, maybe born out of this Tower card, that you're going to set off in a new direction. You're going to set your ships out to sea. Or maybe some of you are waiting for those ships to come back in. But it says that you have been able to direct your will and your focus and your determination to kind of bring this thing together. This 10 here, the 10 of Cups, is telling me two things. For some of you, this is surrounding children and or family. Perhaps your father has been involved, or someone who is like a father figure, whether this is a spouse that you have and you have children with this person. But this 10 tells me that this is a changing circumstance. This says that some kind of message has come in, this Page of Cups. This news has come in. Something definitely to do with the father, the family, perhaps children, or a particular kind of lifestyle, right? And it is predicated upon this particular male. But this tells me that this 10 is also falling away. 10s are changing energy. It's the last of. And we see here with the page a different kind of news coming in. This news is more passionate. This is more of an emotional, deep felt, heartfelt, kind of warm and fuzzy. This one speaks to passion and desire and willpower. But we see that there is a choice here, head or heart, right? Now, for some of you, I feel that this is something that you want. It is something that you desire. You may have communicated that to this particular emperor individual. But what I'm also picking up is that this individual has also communicated that to you and is either doing or showing you something that lets you know that this is a serious contender kind of a situation, no matter what it's about. Again, we see the offer here, the news, the page coming in, the Lovers. Well, here's the offer, but I don't know if I should follow my head or follow my heart. And I think that's quite significant because this guy is about the balance of logic and emotion. Now here is this Two of Cups. And what does the Two of Cups represent? Well, it simply represents the idea of harmony and balance. It represents the idea that what you're putting in is what you're getting out. It is equal to. Everything's on a level playing field. Respect, love, and these are two different types of couples. This one says, I'm kind of torn between logically if this is the best partnership for me, but that's what my heart wants. Whereas this card says that everything, there is no duality, so to speak. Even though it is a number 2, and 2s do represent duality, options, and choices. But this one has a better energy. But yet what we see with this Four of Swords is this taking this moment out. Kind of perhaps like someone disappearing off of the scene. This card, there's a Three of Swords that was before this. So that tells me that there was some disappointment or some sorrow or some heartache or some loss, and that we had to take a step back from this so that we can regather not only our mental abilities and our focus, but simply to just kind of, just get our thoughts together so that we can then get up and move on, because right after that is a 5, and that speaks to some kind of change. Well, the change, because it's a 5, can be rather chaotic or upsetting, or there's a lot of upheaval around it. But fives are not, those things are not necessarily negative. It's simply a challenge. It is simply a moment when things are not stable and there's a bunch of tension there. And so I do feel that it is predicated upon this Tower card, because what we see is someone who's really trying to, what is the feeling coming off of this with this Lover's card? Trying to do this and trying to do it perhaps in a way in which we can be, there is some balance. I feel that there's distance here. Here we have a beach and a water scene, see, on the bluff. We also have these open field kind of a things here. But that mountain tells me that there is some kind of separation. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards, 2 wands, 2 cups, I'm sorry, 3 cups, and a swords card. The feeling that I'm getting here is that it feels as though what is coming up is that you have in effect kind of done all it is that you can do, or surrounding this, whatever this situation is, everything that has been done or that could be done has been done to the best of your skill, knowledge, and abilities. But yet there's still something iffy, and I still stand by that first where it's saying there's a slight concern between in a brand new relationship, partnership, and or romance. This goes to 3 to the 4, so we set out with the intention of, okay, and then the news comes through. Yes, we can do this particular thing here with this 2 of Cups, but I also feel that perhaps either something did not go to a plan or it fell through. Okay, now this could be in anything. So let me take a look. I can look not at the 2 court cards, but I can look at the 3 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the 4 of Swords as they relate to the Magician, the Lovers, and the Emperor. I don't have any, oh well, I have 2 fours. 2 fours speak to a safe and or secure time period. But 2 fours also look to a change of address, a house move. Sometimes this is house repairs and or renovations. And I have seen this card show up when there's been some kind of property damage or issue or loss surrounding a home. Okay. Now, let me go to the, my friend's so funny. Okay, let's take a look at this 3 of Wands. There are no pentacles here. So it does not necessarily look like a financial issue. It looks like a highly charged emotional issue here. And then suddenly, this all speaks to logic and reason. Okay. Truly, the way that you think is going to, and this tells me that there's some division in the way that you think or that you feel about a situation. And so, hence we have this time out. The 3 of Wands, this is what I'm looking at. So let's take a look to see if it can tell me anything next to the Magician, the Lovers, and or the Emperor. Nothing about the 3 of Wands. The 10 of Cups. Let's see if it will tell me anything. This definitely tells me that there's an ending here. The message coming, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't feel like there's a hesitancy. It just, there's a moment. Now, this is not next to the Tower, but the Tower is over this. So there is an influence. Ten of Cups appearing in a reading with the Tower indicates that upheaval will bring about changes. Once everything has settled, you will be able to make the appropriate choices according to the change or changes of the circumstances. And this definitely tells me that there's something changing within the family relationship, perhaps with the father or a strong male figure. Maybe this is a spouse, okay? And definitely there could be children involved here. We see this brought about. And there is this partnership thing. It says that the Ten of Cups appearing with the Tower tells of a very, very definite change in life and can indicate that a great friendship or partnership will be long-lasting and successful. But there are these two cards. Let me take a look at the Two of Cups while I'm here. The Tower. Two of Cups appearing with the Tower tells of adjustments or readjustments needing to be made within a personal relationship. This could be caused by unexpected circumstances and changes, or because of stress or pressure caused by waiting for expected news or information. Well, we see it right here. And maybe this is what this is. Remember I said it's not like a hesitancy. It feels like a pause. So maybe you're waiting, and while you're waiting, there's this head or heart thing that's happening. That's quite interesting. Now, we're definitely looking at a twin flame soulmate kind of a thing. The Lovers with the Two of Cups. It indicates a soulmate union or twin flames. So this is, if this is not a father figure or that you have children with, then this is definitely somebody who has a major influence over your life. A very, very strong presence. Okay. Remember I said there's a separation here as well. Now let's look at this Four of Swords. And then we're going to pull cards on this Lovers here. The Four of Swords. It tells me nothing. Now let me read to you the meaning of the pages, two pages togethers, because I really want you to, I'm going to just go back, to understand this is two different types of messages. Coming from two different places. And for some, this says that there could be a short-term illness, so that goes back. Sometimes this card could be taking a time out to rest and recuperate. And it also speaks to some kind of slight concern because there are two different types of messages. So let's take a look at... I want to look at this Lovers card. Underneath that Tower card is this Eight of Swords. So I would say that either you feel stuck, afraid to make a move, or afraid to make a decision. Sometimes at Eight of Swords, the eights will say that if you've been waiting on a message for a long time, you haven't seen or heard anything, that's coming. And that news is what's going to give you the motivation or the information that you need to break free. Because it's hidden underneath this Tower card, I feel that for some of you, something will occur and it's going to bring a moment where you're not sure how to extricate yourself or what to think, or you're going to kind of be like frozen in place. Now, on the Lovers, Superbia. First of all, this is a peacock. And the peacock is one of the symbols of Juno. Juno was the wife of Jupiter. What she stands for is commitment and right relationships. Now, Those of you who are on the website know that Juno is the wife of Jupiter. We know that Jupiter was a philanderer. He had lots of women. He had lots of children outside of wedlock. But no matter how much he cheated on Juno, no matter how much he may have embarrassed her, she never left him. Why? Because she liked the prestige of being married to the king of gods. She liked being known as the queen of the gods, the queen of heaven. She nagged, she bitched, she got revenge on some of his lovers. She created a lot of havoc, but she never left. Okay? This card can be about, the meaning of it is pride, hubris, vanity. Okay? But because it is a peacock and the most colorful bird, it always represents to me the male of the species. Right? So there's something quite alluring about this particular position, this particular relationship, this particular person, right? But this card can also be about someone showing you their true colors, and it can also be about a success. Our next card is Amore. And what I find to be interesting is that this is Cupid. He's just shooting his arrow blindly someplace. And Cupid represents sudden, quick, heated passion. This could be for a place, a person, a situation. You may see something that you like and completely fall in love with it. It's not, may not be sensible, it may not be logical, but it's just that kind of passion. And then we see constraint and limitations. Someone not moving. So that is what that energy there is telling me. I feel that for some of you, well, let's pull cards on this Four of Swords here. I do feel that this situation will suddenly free itself up. You're either going to come to the realization that perhaps this situation is not going to change. We are speaking of twin flames. It is very difficult to deal with twin flame energy. But you can do it. And don't become confused by all of the stuff you read on the internet that keeps telling you, well, we're supposed to be doing some work together. We're supposed to be making something. Maybe the work you're supposed to be doing with this person is working on yourself. That's the project. Okay? Both of you are helping each other to grow and expand in ways. Doesn't mean you're going to be together, or even that you should be together. L'amica, denari, speranza. This speaks to the relationship of trust. There could be some kind of financial aspect here, but to me, really, this is talking about the idea of safety and security. And the fear of that, okay? Maybe this person has a commitment issue. Maybe this person is already committed. Maybe you have the commitment issue. Maybe you are already committed, because this card also speaks to hope, but it falls on this card of taking a time out, of stepping back so that you can objectively view. This card represents Saturn in Libra, and Saturn was in Libra, was it last year, year before last? And it speaks to limitations in relationships, right relationships, balance and the harmony of it. Well, formulate a question. I don't know what to tell you about that, how that's going to play out. But definitely, if this has not occurred, it will be occurring for some of you. Formulate one question for the angel answer. Now, again, keep in mind that I'm reading for lots of air sign people, lots of Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius. And so, you know, it can't be true for everybody what the cards are talking about. It's an impressive spread. All right, here you go. Choose a new direction. The time has come to choose a new direction for your life. The circumstances that you find yourself living in may seem unfulfilling, or perhaps your heart is full of discontent. You know that there is something more out in the world for you, and you've been procrastinating following the guidance of your angels. Make a conscious choice to be the person you are meant to be. Create an action plan for yourself that leads you in the direction of your divine life purpose. Begin taking steps immediately towards a happier future. And I have often seen in those twin flame connections, people waiting around for years for somebody to make a decision. Wow. Okay. So that's what I have for you, air signs, for October 2018. I do hope those messages helped. If you'd like to go over to the website to book a reading or even to join, you can click on the eye that's going to be up here, or you can find my website address in the About Box section of the channel, but also in the description box of the video. Until next time, thanks for allowing me to read for you, and namaste.